Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Judiciary 009. In this video, I will cover two topics: how to secure cutoff marks in the exam and how to done away the silly mistakes. This is a very important video for all of you who are going to appear on exam dated 11th of January 2026, which is a UPSC combined exam regarding the post of CBA APP, CBA APP, company prosecutor, assistant legal advisor, and assistant director. Generally, you have seen that a one mark sometime changes your career. So we have given a different types of exam for different posts during our career. During our I can say that we have started preparing for different exams and we have given a different exams, having a different approach. But this is a general formula that we have generally we have committed a silly mistakes in the preliminary exam. And in this video, I will state you clearly how to done away with that silly mistake. It is my personal experience, even experience of my other friends who have shared this idea with me. And I can assure you that obviously even a 10% marks you can secure by watching this video. The whole purpose of my making of this video will be fulfilled. So we have seen that it is a exam conducted by UPSC. So UPSC having a habit of making a question on 4 different aspects. First aspect, it is a easy questions they will ask you, and in a second format they will ask you lengthy questions, and in third way they will ask you the judgments, and in a fourth way the hardest questions they will ask you. So easy questions I would say that carry near about a 30% marks, 20 to 30% marks. The weightage of easy question would be in your exam a 20 to 30%. I am just giving you the guess. It may be a 10%, it may be a 40% also. Depend upon the exam, the pattern of the exam will decide it. There are a lengthy question as well, like a long question. A 5 different aspects, covering 5 different aspects, or differing having a 4 type of options, but options are lengthy, or they may ask you that you cut away, you just correct the idea which is correct in this statement. They will ask these types of the question. UPSC is having a habit of asking these types of the question, and that lengthy question having a weightage of 10 to 20%. It is a broader idea as per the experience I had to appearing in these types of exams. Judgments carrying a 10% to 20% marks, and hard question may be divided into 2 parts. Hard question which are based upon some case laws, or based upon some law. I would say based upon some facts. So based upon case law or based upon certain a valid law, I can say a 20% marks, 20% weightage would be given to them. Thereafter, fact based questions, a 30% marks may be perhaps may be ideal given by the UPSC. So overall, if 100% marks we can see, or if a whole idea of a question we can see, it may be divided into 4 parts. One is easy questions. So firstly, if the question like that way come and they just give you the question paper so as to read that question paper, so as to answer that questions, there is a one question that is easy question, second question lengthy question, third question may also easy, fourth also easy, and that is the symmetry. It is not always that first 20 question are easiest one and second other 20 questions are lengthiest one. Not they not follow that symmetry, but overall the whole, if you see the whole questions, then you will see that this question paper is divided into 4 parts. So first question may be a lengthy question, first question may be a easiest question, or a first question may be a fact based or judgment based question. So I will give you the answer, how to give how to appear in the exam and how to give the answer to that questions. Firstly, at first pattern, in a first way, you just find out easiest questions. Find out easiest question. That 30 question, that 20 question, 20% or 20% you must find out firstly. Because when you find the easiest questions, the working of brain may be intact. You can save your energy. Because the easiest questions are those questions which if you have seen, you can make a tick mark. Like you can easily give that answer. It is based upon your knowledge. You have already completed that task. Even a 90% of students who are serious can give answer to that types of the questions. Find out that question firstly at a first reading and answer that question. It will save your energy, save the energy of your brain, and your brain working will be intact. Now, after giving a 30% that you have find that 30% question and you have answered that questions. Now, in a second way, try to solve the question based upon judgments. Find out the judgments. That question may be 5, 6 or 7 or even a 4 question. Find out and right away answer that questions. You may see that you can answer that question, you cannot answer that question. If you can't answer that question in a second reading, some of answer you cannot give to that questions, that skip that question. Need not to do the question which need your energy. You have to save your energy till 50% of question solving. You have to solve questions 50% by making this trick. Find out the easiest ones, or find out the questions which you find that I know the answer of this question. Trick mark this, and thereafter you can see how many questions you have done. If you have done a question which you know and they are easiest questions you have done, and how many questions you have done, just count, or you have make a broader idea about the question paper, whether this question paper is the easiest question paper, or it is an average question paper, or it is a tough question paper. If you have done a 50% mark, 50% question and you consider it easiest questions, then the cutoff will definitely arise. So in a second way, when you start reading the questions so as to give the answer which you have not done yet, now your mental level must be like that. You have to answer those questions which are not easy but not hard. Average question. Find out the average questions. You may find out because generally what I have done in my previous exams, like this is a question 1, this is a question 2, this is a question 3, this is a question 4, question 5, question 6. Generally, I follow the idea that if first question I know, give answer. If second question I don't know, I made a circle on that question. If third question I know or don't know, I am a 50% confused, then I will skip that and encircle that question. Answer this question if it is easiest, I know that. Answer that question if easiest, and encircle that question if I don't know, or if I having a 50% 50% idea of knowing the answer. Now, firstly, I have done this question, and this question. 3 questions I have done. Now, it is having a 6 question and I have done a 3 question. It is a more 50% task I have done without consuming much energy of my brain. Now, in a second way, in a second reading, I have to done this question and this question. 50% having a thing. In that reading, if I could not give answer, skip that questions. Again encircle, or you can skip. Now start reading that question, second, which I have left. If it is a lengthy question, if it is a hard question, depend upon my mind's energy. Now, if I am consuming the energy of my mind to that level that other questions are even left, but I have consumed energy on that question only, I have read that concept, I know that concept, I know that law, but I could not give the answer to that question because I need thorough reading, thorough introspection, thorough analyze of my mind. Then it take energy of my mind to that level. So always save energy till the time these question will come. Save energy. Try to do other question which consume less energy. So while giving answer to any question, or while reading any question, you must have an idea in your mind that I must firstly save my energy so that I can consume that energy at end. Save energy for end, because whenever you start giving answer to the difficult question, then your mind will approach like that way. It take much energy from your mind. That question take much energy from your mind, and when you have consumed that energy, so mind after consuming energy becoming a low. Whenever you start giving answer to easiest one after tough one, you have done tough one firstly and then you started giving answer to the easiest answers, easiest questions. Now there is a chance of silly mistake, and that is why the silly mistakes generally who have done in our exam, and that question who have already know, but due to that silly mistake we have done a wrong option, we have noticed a wrong option, and that mistake generally somehow carrying a much weightage in that exam, and due to that silly mistake we could not clear a previous exam, and that is why that idea is necessary to follow. It is based upon your experience, and that is why I make that video, because you all of you are going to appear in this exam. Even though the other exam you can save that video for or share that video with other persons who are going to appear in a exam in a future also. That idea is always workable. Even you are appearing for any exam, firstly find out the easiest questions, then only find out the tough question from easiest one. Then in third way, based upon facts, long question, lengthy questions. Fourth way, find out the hardest questions. Always done hardest question at last, easiest question at first. When, if you are not following that idea or that way, then you may done the hardest questions, but whenever you start doing easiest question at last, a silly mistake may happen. Generally 90% chances are there that silly mistake could happen, because your mind energy is already been consumed, that was consumed by the hard questions. Now your mind is working not properly to that extent that they can handle that rhythm of idea, that rhythm of that need which is needed by your exam, and that is why you have to give answer like that way. It is not that first 200 question have to done by symmetrical way, firstly answer first question, second question, third question, and so on till 100. No, always do question, always answer those questions which you think that are easiest one and you can easily give answer to them. It is not always the idea that you have to give each and every answer to the every question, because hardest question, if let's suppose in a question paper hardest questions are 20 in number, and there is a majority like 99% students who are going to appear in this same exam will not do the answer of these questions. So that 20% question having a weightage of a 20%, but it need a much more energy of your brain which the other questions could not get. So always done at last. Even all students follow, if started follow that way of giving exam, then all person will done away with the silly mistakes, and you can easily get the merit numbers. So if 20% are the hardest question, the UPSC will also assume that you cannot answer each and every question. They want that you can answer those questions which the average student can give. But if you are a topper or if you are an extraordinary person, you can give the answer to that question also, but it need hard labor, because these questions are based upon those facts which the generally a person could not read during exams, during preparation days. It is there are some persons who always doing each and every stuff of law, but there are certain areas which are gray areas. on which there are disputed things which the UPSC having a habit to ask questions. That may be considered as the hardest question. So always consider this idea, and that is the only way you can you can get a good marks. And thereafter you have a previous year will help you for two ways. First, you can get an idea from which topic the questions are generally asked, which topic. And second, the idea of that time and that judgments. Like in 2001, you have seen the previous year question paper of 2021, and there are judgments decided on the year 2020, 2029. Generally they have asked in this question, in these types of the questions, previous year questions. But now you can get an idea. Now you are going to appear in a 2026 exam. You can get an idea that the judgment given in the year 2025 and 2024, having a possibility they will ask a question from these judgments. You get to know about the topic which is a favorite of the UPSC. You can know the judgment, which types of the judgment they have asked. Generally UPSC will ask you the question based upon the idea or a fact or a law which is a disputed one, having a different judgments, having a different approach, which is very complex in nature. Generally the constitutional law questions are very complex in nature, so always do that question at last. Easiest question must be done by firstly. And must share your problem in a comment box so that I can answer each and every stuff before appearing for exam. Thank you so much. Kindly note my Instagram page also, judiciary03. That will also helpful for you. I'm habit of uploading the judgments on it. I will cover one video also for purpose of this exam, in which I will cover the judgments, recent judgments for exam point of view. Thank you so much.